Hey guys, welcome back to another build guide video. The current Smite patch is 8.6. There were a few hunter changes. It's been about 5 days since it hit, and I want to tell you guys about the new meta and the new build and who to build it on. And yeah, let's go. So first thing I want to talk about is starter items. And I think right now there are only two real viable starter items for hunters. One of them, the number one, being Bluestone Pendant. I'll talk about that in a sec. And the other one being Death Toll. And if you guys didn't know, Gilded Arrow has been nerfed. It's not that very good anymore. Leather Cow isn't good because it has no sustain, which is what you are looking for in a starter item. So then it only leaves you with Bluestone and Death Toll. And one thing these guys both have in common, they both have health sustain. This guy has HP 5, and this guy has, like health regen on your basics. Bluestone has MP 5, this has mana regen on your basics. So both these have 15 power. They both have 15 power. They both have sustain. So what's the big difference? The reason why I think Bluestone's number one is because the extra damage and the passive HP 5 and MP 5 feel a little bit better than the passive of Death Toll, where they regen based on the amount of autos you hit. So Bluestone, number one right now, in my opinion, in most people's opinions. Most SPL players are picking up Bluestone. Although Death Toll isn't that far behind it, you can pick up Death Toll if you want. If you just want to feel more solid, a little bit more, I would say this has a little bit more health sustain. Like, you don't get poked out as much, but the health sustain on this isn't bad at all. It's kind of personal preference, but I think Bluestone still takes the win here over the top starter item. So let's go into the build now. If you guys didn't know, Transcendence has been reduced in cost. It is a very strong item now. So with that said, most people are going it, and you want to start Morningstar and Bluestone Pendant. Combined with 2 health pots, this is all you can afford, but the MP5 of both these items is a lot. So you kind of walk out of base with 20 MP5, which is a lot of mana. Mana is very good early game. You can spam your abilities on the wave and on buffs. You can clear very efficiently. You don't have to worry about becoming out of mana and having to back. That's why this start is so strong. You have health sustain, you have a lot of mana sustain, you have health pots. You can normally make it to your boots, which is the first thing you buy here. So first back, usually buy boots. This is normally what the build looks like around here. I know you guys are going to have the question, when should you build trans first? And it's okay to build trans first, but Transcendence is a little bit different from Devos, where you don't really rely on the stacks that much. It's a good power spike regardless, and it's not really that beneficial to stack it first. Although, if you can farm 1850, you get a kill or something, it's not bad to get first at all. You'll have more power at the start, but you'll have less movement speed without Ninja Tabby. Experiment with it. I normally build boots first, like 9 times out of 10, but some games, if I get a kill or two, and I can afford trans, I go for it, and I just become very powerful. So then, you have Bluestone, you have trans, you have boots. Next item you guys can probably guess is the Aussie that has been buffed as well. They buffed Aussie from 20 power to 25 power, and it's just a really good third item here. Gives you lifesteal, gives you power, gives you attack speed, gives you flat pen, everything that is good with trans. So at this point in the game, you have lifesteal, power, attack speed. You're feeling good. You got Bluestone. And yeah, next item, you guys can probably guess as well. You need your percent penetration. Execution are really the only item that is going to fill the slot right now. So you got to go it, pretty much. So every game, I would say this is the core build. This is what you'll see most pro players building. This is what most ranked players will build. This is the strongest build right now for the hunters, combined with the Bluestone or Death Toll. If you go Death Toll, you can go the same build, but it's just preference, pretty much. If you don't really feel like you'll get that much value out of Bluestone, go Death Toll. But yeah, this is like the core build. This is where you'll get a lot of games. You'll be feeling good. Good attack speed, good pen, good power, do good damage. But the real kind of branch of this build kind of goes in the last 2 items. Personally, I always, not always, but 9 times out of 10, I go Wind Demon and Deathbringer. I think this combo is very, very strong. I think crit's still very, very strong. So I would go this here. And I know it might look weird because you only have 20% crit, but you have to treat Wind Demon like a non-crit item and just treat the crits as like extra. And don't try to base your damage on when you're gonna crit, try to base your damage on not critting, if that makes sense. But Wind Demon is just a nuts item, honestly. You auto 5 times, you're likely to get a crit. You're likely to get the passive, which is the percent pen, the attack speed, the movement speed. You guys know how broken Wind Demon is. Highly recommend this item in this slot. And then I highly recommend selling Bluestone for Deathbringer, because now if you crit, you're going to crit 30% harder. You'll have a lot of power. You'll have 45% crit, which isn't that much, but it's almost 50-50, so you're going to crit almost half the time if you're lucky. And I think this is how you finish off the build. This is what I find works well in ranked. The other finish to this build is kin size Oboe. So I'll just talk about the differences real quick. So first thing, this is cheaper. Total, this is 48, and this is 55. So 700 gold difference between this and this. And this has way more attack speed as well. You see it gets to 2.31, and then this gets to 1.91. That is without Wind Demon proc, but with Wind Demon proc, it'll probably go to like, I don't know, 2.06 or something. And this is 2.31. So this is a lot more attack speed. And you can't underestimate Oboe. Can't underestimate Oboe at all. The procs will be getting a lot of value against backliners and everyone it pings against. You guys know how good Oboe is. But my problem with this like end to the build is that kin size isn't going to do that much damage to tanks if you don't have the executioner pen procced on it. So kin size does 3% to 5% of the target's max HP depending on their health per auto. But what you got to realize about that is that that's unmitigated damage. So just as a quick example, if someone has 3000 HP, 5% of that is 150. So kin size damage will be 150 unmitigated damage. But the thing is, if you don't have Xe procced, even if you have 1 or 2 stacks of Xe, that 150 is going to go down to about, I don't know, 30 to 50. Probably even less. So that's why I don't like kin size with this build. It's because it doesn't do a lot if you don't have the executioner procs, which you're not going to always have. Another main difference for the crit versus the pen here is that this is a lot more DPS against Fire Giant, against squishy characters, against junglers diving you, and it's really not any lower DPS than this is against tanks as well. And by the way, Oboe works the same way as kin size, whereas the proc, the 60% of your total basic attack damage, is unmitigated damage, whereas if you hit someone, it gets mitigated. So if you don't have the executioner procs, you won't have any pen with the Oboe procs, so the Oboe won't be hitting for that much. So that's my big complaint about why I don't like the kins and the Oboe with this build, although it's not terrible. You need the executioner procs on someone to actually do significant damage with the passives. So that's pretty much the main build right now. The Bluestone or Dust Toll into this with either this or this ending. Now I want to talk about the characters that this build is very good on. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on the meta characters that I think are really good with this build. Chiron's up there. Chiron might be number 1, honestly. He has 4 damaging abilities, does a lot of damage. Just works really well with the Bluestone build. Can kill you with 1 combo if he hits an auto, 2, 1 alt. He has insane level 2 pressure with the dash giddy up. And he got his 3 buffed as well. So Chiron's really strong right now. Danza, I think, is okay right now. I think he's up there. Panic has been playing him a lot in SPL. He feels pretty good in ranked with the Bluestone build. He does a lot of damage. But he's still very unsafe and pretty easy to kill. Can be rough, but I think he's pretty good. I think Heim is very strong with the build as well. Heim, auto 2, auto alt, and then 1 auto when they come down. Pretty much kills people now. I really suggest Bluestone Heim. I think it's very fun. I think he's very good with the trans build. I think Heim's up there. Ho Yi's been seeing a little bit of play. His clear got way better, and he does way more damage with his ricochet. Although, still unsafe, you know, bad matchups as well. I think Ullr can actually be very strong right now. He kind of one-shots as well with his combo, like Chiron. Like, if you axe 3-1 jump on someone, they're probably dead. Very good clear, early pressure. If you like Ullr, it's a good meta right now. Try him out with the Bluestone. And I think Anher is still pretty strong. Definitely pretty strong. Doesn't work that well with Bluestone. I mean, kind of does. I still get Bluestone on him, but, like, he doesn't have that much guaranteed Bluestone procs. But he's still strong, man. If you jump on someone, impale ult them, they're going to die. A lot of gods right now just have a lot of all-in potential in lane, and that makes them very strong. Other than that, I mean, those are pretty much the top gods I would say right now. So, you know, in conclusion, Chiron, Heim, Anher, Danza, Ullr, I think are pretty good picks right now. There are others, but those are the ones I would recommend with the build. You guys are probably wondering, like, can you play Devo's characters anymore? Like, what happened to Chernobog? And the truth is, you can play them, but you will get absolutely bullied by the Bluestone characters if you guys are the same skill. So I wouldn't really recommend, you know, Chernobog, Jingwei, Rama right now. Even though I like those characters, they're just not very strong in the meta. So real quick, just to make this a complete hunter guide, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. If you do want to play these, you know, auto attack based characters, I want to give you guys a little build. And here we go. It's going to be fast. So you go Destol. It's going to be pretty similar to the old crypt build if you know that. But you go Destol, Devos 1. I suggest 2 health, 2 multi. Then you're going to finish your Devos. And then you're going to get Boots. And then you're going to get Wind Demon. It's pretty much the old crypt build, just with a different starter item because Ornate is very bad. So you get that. You need your percent pen. Then you need your Deathbringer. And then I would say just sell the starter item for usually Poison Star or Shadow Steel if you want. So full build, it's going to be this. You know, and then you're going to get that. Sell this for this. Oops. That's a solid crypt build if you want to play a Devos character, although like I said, you're going to get bullied, so be careful with it. Still going to do good damage late game and have a good lifesteal though. So yeah, if you want a little build for them, here you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Gonna cut it here. Thank you guys for watching. Share this video. Put questions in the comments if you want. I love talking about builds. I'm interested to see what you guys think. And yeah, have a good one. Thanks guys. Later.